Saturn square Pluto Karmic Synastry. Big red flags in relationships. Saturn square Pluto is a huge red flag. It's potentially dangerous, but more often than not, it'll indicate a power struggle that involves the law. Let's get deeper into why I'm warning people about this aspect. The points I'll discuss today in order are what this square is, what is the energy like, what the potential outcomes are, and how to navigate it. I'll also give a few examples, and lastly, the karma associated with getting involved with this type of relationship. If you like this video and you like my style of interpreting synastry, please consider subscribing. Thank you very much. What is it? Well, synastry means overlaying one person's birth chart with another person's birth chart. You can use it for friends, relationships, family, and I personally like to use them also for business contacts. Each sign is placed together in the comparison, i.e., Taurus overlaps with Taurus. I use whole signs so that there are no cusps, but the debate about which charts to use is a bigger one than we have time for today. In reality, we can actually use all charts, and they're all good for their own reasons, but for synastry, I like to use whole signs. I like none of the signs to be overlapping, and I like to know which houses are being aspected. So each house, the beginning of one house in one chart is the beginning of the other person's house as well. So there are no cusps and there are no overlapping energies. You can do it however you want, but this is how I do it, and in my videos when I'm explaining synastry, just know that that's how I'm doing it, and there might be some weird stuff going on in your comparisons if you're going by my instructions. In synastry, we will measure the distance between angles and between planets. The angle that we're discussing today is a square angle between one person's Pluto and another person's Saturn. What is the energy like of this aspect? Let's get a feel for Pluto and Saturn's energies. They have some similarities when they come together. Saturn is Capricorn, and the 10th house, it's hard work, time, steady forward motion, and planning. The 10th house is the house of public service. So even though we don't associate Capricorn with the public or with the public eye, Capricorn energy is how others see you. Whatever your Capricorn in your chart, whatever your 10th house is in your chart, that's how others are going to see you. And Capricorn does represent the public. It does represent public work. Pluto has a similarity with Capricorn because it's slow moving, at least up until it's not slow moving. Pluto embodies the scorpionic energy and the 8th house. It represents hidden things like sexuality, stealth, and control. Scorpionic things are hidden by a cloud of secrecy. They come out of the shadows when you least expect them to. This is the fabled Scorpio sting. There's a shock of having no idea what was brewing under the surface. Saturn, in comparison to Scorpio, is very open about their motives. Neither one of these two planets are able to change the motives of the others or the ways that they interact. The karmic debt is really heavy when it clashes. As I've already stated, one of the outcomes here is very grave. You can end up in court battles over money and property. You can end up with children who are involved in custody disputes for their entire childhood. I've seen couples who have great charts with just this one aspect causing huge problems. I'll give a few famous examples now. John Legend and Chrissy Teigen have a fairly good relationship chart, but I wouldn't rate it a 10. I don't like predicting negative things for people who are still alive and still doing well, but I will say that I'm waiting to see if it works out for them in the long run. What you can currently observe in their relationship, though, is her jealousy and distrust, with him responding in a very calm manner. She does seem to be placated by this for now, so maybe there's hope for them. And I've also read online that people can make this work long term, so it does exist. The next famous couple that I want to use is Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Their disputes were aired quite openly. This is an extreme example of how nasty things can be. I've experienced this more than a few times in my life. All three of them have included court battles, but none of them have actually resulted in huge, all out, bang out, court battles. Nothing like this Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing. It's been somewhat amicable. But it's nowhere near the outcome that you would want. Just because it's not terrible doesn't mean it's good. Yeah, so you can actually check how close the contact is and what other planets and energies and houses are interacting with this square. That'll show you what area of life, other than just the 8th house and the 10th house, will be involved. So what is the karma here? What can we do to mitigate these nasty energies? Of course, the karmic lesson is about control. The Scorpio person has to do everything they can to be more open about what they want to achieve and to let go of what is not theirs. Scorpio needs to learn that there can be compromise if they simply state what they want. They need to be honest, and they need to be willing to also make concessions to the Saturn person. The person representing Capricorn in this situation must give control wherever they can. Even if it's not much, they need to try and move the goalposts such that the other party is involved in a positive outcome. Both people need to agree together to not become enemies. I can't overstate how important it is for both parties to be committed to this outcome because it is extremely difficult. If there is no cooperation, though, from one party, once you understand these energies and integrate this karma, you can avoid replaying these issues over and over again. It can be avoided by at least one party. Don't leave yourself open to litigation by making stupid choices. Know the law, follow the law, protect yourself in advance, and keep your assets protected. And be fair. Be willing to notice where your goals and what you wanted to achieve may not have been fair to the other person, and try and figure out, even if the other person's not being fair, you can still be fair. And the more fair you are in this situation, the more likely other people will see your side and try to assist you. But the law is the law, and there are things that you can do. And the biggest thing you can do is just noticing this energy of control and staying away from it. That's the best thing that you can do. De-escalation and not trying to get one over on other people. Alright, well, thank you once again for tuning in. Let me know in the comments what you did and didn't like so that I can improve and bring you more stuff in the future that you might want to tune into. And good luck on your karmic journey. I hope to see you again. Also, thank you very much for subscribing and liking my videos.